Wizards of the West Coast. Tapping out, slinging spells. I hate your deck.
You're good at counting to 2.
I'm great at counting to 2.
Antsy in my pantsy.
Wow.
The problem is definitely not me.
We're all problems until we all need to die.
Absolutely, that's what Magic's all about.
Even in Austria?
Thank you.
Is that what it's about?
No, in Austria it's about
Killing.
destroying.
Yes. Fries in German.
Weinen.
I'll give you something to take personally.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
If you really want to support I Hate Your Deck, there's a lot of ways to help support us. Number one way is through Patreon. Patreon is a great place where you get to join our community. We have a Discord where we play a lot of Magic with our friends, and there's such a community of people from around the world in our Discord. So if you want access to our deck list, do you want to play Magic with a lot of people from all over the world and interact or help brew your decks, the I Hate Your Deck Discord through Patreon will help you get all that done. Hey, if you've been liking I Hate Your Deck, hit the like, subscribe, and ring that bell to get notifications when we have new episodes coming out. And we also have bonus episodes. If you want to see those bonus episodes that were too hot for YouTube, join our Patreon to check that out.
Wizards of the West Coast. Tapping out, slinging spells. I hate your deck. We want to give you the true LGS experience. We show up, sling spells, and have fun. Now meet our players for this episode.
What's up, everyone? It's Lynch from I Hate Your Deck, and here we are for more spicy episodes with spicy people. I just love playing paper Magic with my friends.
I'm Sky, here on I Hate Your Deck, the hot sauce maker, musician, random townie guy that gets to play here, and I love playing Magic, so I'm happy to be back.
Hi, I'm Peter. Do I talk to this camera?
Yeah, talk to that camera.
All right, camera, how are you doing? I'm Peter Kastner. I'm from Austria. I walked all the way over here to play Magic with Lynch and my friends, and I'm so happy to be here.
And he's humble, but I'll help introduce. Peter's a great music producer and helped me produce the I Hate Your Deck theme song that you hear at the end of every episode. Brought his vocalist buddy up from San Diego to produce it and mixed it and put the whole track together.
Bradley.
So he's a badass musician, insane bass player, visiting us.
There you go. Finally have our first international player on
Yes.
the show.
Is that real?
I think so. I think
Wow.
you're the first internet,
There's always got to be a first.
you're a first international.
I
Can
love
he
it.
shout out his playgroup in Austria?
Geht's all in Arsch.
Yes.
There you go.
Hello, I'm Eiley. Good to be back again. I've spent the last 3 weeks moving, so I'm glad to finally actually be playing. I'll be back on spell tables. Look out for RPG Fox. Back to you, Lynch.
All right. So with that said, let's get into the Rule Zero conversation. I'm excited to play the new Omnath Locus of All. It is the finally completed Omnath.
Poor guy.
Finally did it.
Poor bean.
The bean has all colors.
That's an evil ass jelly bean.
It's a Phyrexian elemental because it was completed. If you would lose unspent mana, that mana becomes black instead. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, look at the top card of your library. You may reveal that card if it has 3 or more colored mana symbols in its mana cost. If you do, add 3 mana in any combination of its color and put it into your hand. If you don't, reveal it, put it into your hand. It's fun because if I have mana left over, tap it, get the black mana, so hopefully I can ramp with that. The fact that it has a Phyrexian black, if I do have just 4 lands, I can still cast it and lose 2 life, which is kind of cool. Plus at the main phase, the fact that I am able to draw to get that extra card draw to help me get my hand. Big things this deck likes to do, use Doubling Cube, reshape the earth, get lots of lands so I can get my value. I have a bunch of elementals, so there's like a sub-elemental theme, and obviously a sub-landfall theme. You know, Tireless, I think, Provisioner or Tracker, I can't remember which one is in here. Landfall theme, elemental theme. I do have the dual lands in here. I do own them, but I did proxy them so that my dual lands don't get too much wear and tear, if everyone's cool with that.
That's okay.
Super cool.
I would be excited to play this Mishra Eminent one. My brother and I got each other Brothers War for Christmas, and he got Urza and I got Mishra. This is Grixis. It's a 5/4 for 5 that says at the beginning of combat on your turn, create a token that's a copy of target non-creature artifact you control. Except its name is Mishra's War Form, and it's a 4/4 construct artifact creature in addition to its other types. It gains haste until end of turn, sacrifice at the beginning of next end step. So the deck is all about non-creature artifacts that I could use when I create a copy, or that I can sack and do stuff with sacking and artifacts. Kind of a trinkety artifact deck, honestly. I don't know if it does anything, but I want to play it.
Nice.
I've played against you before. You were smacking me in the face with some damage.
Well, I'll smack you with anything, dude.
Kept a tradition of smacking me in the face.
I had to bring something that was light, easy to carry, so I brought the 2-in-1 combo. Adrix and Neff.
We all know Magic's not light and easy to carry.
Exactly. Yeah, Adrix and Neff, twin casters, wizards with Ward 2, so you know, a little bit of protection as a built-in feature. And it's all about making tokens. So if one or more tokens would be created under my control, twice that many tokens will be created instead. So, you know, it tries to just kind of go wide and a bit of landfall in there. Actually, Ailey helped me build it and, you know, fine tune it. So
She's
watch
great
it.
at helping
Oh
people
my
with
God.
their decks.
Yeah, that's pretty much
Highly
my
recommend.
job.
I wish I'd had a chance to let her look at this before I threw this together, so she could have helped look over mine.
I have one dual land in there because I started playing Magic in 95, 96.
Yeah.
And we kind of got lucky.
through the
Scoops
dual
and
land.
early. Yeah.
There you go.
I have Verena, the Lich Queen, which I've played before, and I just figured I'd offer it as an option to come back for some revenge against specifically Sky. What? But the two new ones here, I will start with the mono white Mangara the Diplomat. It is a very battle cruisery, slow deck, but it's an angel deck. It's meant to just basically beat people down and gain a bunch of life via the attacks. No infinite combos, no fast mana other than Soul Ring, couple recursions tools, cool. And then a reconstruction of Nath of the Gilt Leaf. So I described this one as Elf Ball Black Stacks.
What are you voting for? He sounds like you want.
I would love to see Mangara. I love mono white. I love angels.
By popular demand, Mangara the Diplomat. It's a 2/2 with lifelink. Whenever an opponent attacks with a creature, if 2 or more creatures are attacking me or a planeswalker I control, draw a card. Whenever an opponent casts their second spell each turn, draw a card.
It's great. Now, it's a 2/4. You people in the comments, calm down. It's a 2/4.
Now enjoy the show.
Let's roll. Let's see who goes first.
Low roll wins?
I got a 2. So you got a 4.
This is unbelievable, guys. I
Peter
never
goes
win
first?
these.
Well, you're in America. It flips it.
It
Everything
works for
the
me.
upside down.
Yeah.
It
we-
works. 1, 2, 3.
Take it away, sir.
All right. I will open with a Temple of Mystery. Comes into play tapped.
Hawk, scry. I'm going. Draw. Draw Forge Bridge. Pass.
Draw. Path to End Street tapped. Pass.
Oh man, don't I feel like a dick.
Don't worry. You're not going to play a tapped land.
You're right. I'm gonna play a Plains, tap 1 for a Soul Ring.
What?
I scoop.
Pass the turn.
Draw for turn. Surprise face.
He's a poker star.
Tapped and pass turn.
Untap, draw. Play this training center real quick before I lose an opponent. 2 Mariners. I can cast a Goblin Engineer. It's a 1/2 Goblin Artificer. When it enters the battlefield, I may search my library for an artifact card, put it in my graveyard, then shuffle my library. And I can pay a red, tap, sack an artifact to return target artifact card with converted mana cost 3 or less from my graveyard to the battlefield. So I'm gonna go ahead and tutor, but you can go.
Oh, tutors right now?
Yeah, tutors on ETB.
Draw for turn. I'm gonna go ahead and play Verdant Catacombs, lose a life, tap and crack it, go get.
Don't hurt yourself there while you're thinking.
I'm always hurting myself.
I'm gonna put this, already forgot what it is, Cursed Mirror into the graveyard with my Goblin Engineer.
Ready to play some things and slap some people around.
I'll get a Taiga. Taiga! Uppercut!
A tiger!
Untap, upkeep, draw. Play Command Beacon. It taps for colorless, or I can tap and sack it to put my commander from the zone into my hand.
Hot.
I will tap for 4 and cast the commander. Mangara the Diplomat, 2/4 with lifelink. Whenever an opponent attacks me or a planeswalker I control 2 or more creatures, I draw a card. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, I draw a card.
Why you gotta be so scared about being attacked?
I just want the card draw. I don't care if you're attacking me.
When
Do
you
you have
say,
Ghostly Prison in there?
No.
when you read the card, it sounds like you're saying Diploman, and it's so cute. I'm like,
He's just a diplomat.
you know?
Sure, I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but I'm gonna pass the turn.
All right. Off. Good old forest. I'm going to play the Reach of Kodama, which is a sorcery and allows me to search my library for up to 2 basic land cards. Reveal those cards, put 1 onto the battlefield tapped and the other into your hand. Then shuffle.
You
Pass turn.
cast that and pass. I'm
Yes.
untapping and drawing. I'm playing this mountain,
Yep, counter it. 2050, they counter lands.
casting Dark Ritual, adding black, 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 and I'm paying red and blue for the rest of the mana required to get Mishra. Mishra, Eminent One, a legendary creature, human artificer, 5/4 with, at the beginning of combat on your turn, create a token that's a copy of target non-creature artifact you control, except its name is Mishra's War Form, and it's a 4/4 construct artifact creature in addition to its other types. It gains haste until end of turn, sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. I think I will also go ahead and play his foil-ass bauble, then go to combat.
Oh, trigger, that's your second
God!
spell.
Oh. Damn it! Mishra was my second spell. You may draw.
Who are you trying to hit this game?
I would never. You, obviously.
As you move to combat, I'm going to tap for 1 white, and I'm going to Source to Plowshare your commander.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Oh, wow.
dude, I was joking.
So you gain 5 life.
Thanks. So
I don't want to start getting smacked in the face for whatever giant artifacts you're going to try to
wasn't
create.
gonna attack you.
That you already searched for and put in your graveyard.
All right, then I go to combat and attack you with Goblin Engineer.
Yeah, that's why I hit you. Boom.
Pass.
Okay, untap, draw for turn.
Could have saved that swords for a time that it actually mattered, but no.
Oh no, your commander's
Okay,
pretty good.
I'm gonna play Savannah.
Thanks.
I'm gonna tap 3. I'm gonna cast a Tireless Tracker. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, investigate, which means I get to put a colorless clue artifact onto the battlefield where I get to pay 2, sacrifice this, draw a card. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, put a +1 counter on Tireless Tracker. I pass the turn.
Untap, upkeep, draw, play this basic ass plains. I will tap 1 white to play Authority of the Consuls. 1 white enchantment. Creatures your opponents control enter the battlefield tap. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, I gain 1 life.
That is a huge problem for me.
Such a powerful card.
My war forms will do nothing.
Sucks to suck, doesn't it? Tap for 3. Starhelm Aspirant. 2/2 human cleric. Angel spells cost 2 less to cast.
Love that mono white angel tribal nonsense.
Then I will go to the wombats. Declare my attacker at sky to slap that poor sleep deprived boy.
He is at 45 life.
That's your fault.
That is my friend Mike's fault.
And I will gain 2 from lifelink. What? And I will pass the turn.
Yay.
She's good. Ooh.
Aufstehen. Yes. I tap 2 and a green to cast Sequence Engine. Artifact that lets me pay X, tap it, exile target creature with mana value X from a graveyard. Create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token. Put X +1/+1 counters on it. Activate only as a sorcery. No, we have no creature cards anywhere. It's a very sad
graveyard.
sad time for a Sequence Engine.
You need a graveyard?
It's good for later.
It's
though.
good for later. Yeah.
It's a good for later card.
Pass turn.
Untap, upkeep, draw, play, land, Inventor's Fair. In my first main here, I'm gonna tap a red and tap Goblin Engineer, activating his ability, sacrificing Mishra's Bauble, targeting Cursed Mirror as the artifact to bring back from my graveyard to play. This is a artifact that reads, it can tap to add a red, and it says, as Cursed Mirror enters the battlefield, you may have it become a copy of any creature on the battlefield until end of turn, except it has haste. So it enters as a creature, which means it's gonna enter tapped.
You may have it become a copy.
Artifacts.
Artifacts. So yeah, why would I choose that?
Oh my god.
You can use that one.
I could have made it a tireless tracker and then played a land to get a clue, and that would have been a better line. Should I take a shot of hot sauce or what?
It's about
You
freaking
haven't
time.
put it on the battlefield yet.
No, but he already played his land. All
Give me
right.
the hot sauce!
First take back
I
shot.
want that clue,
Our first
baby.
take back shot.
Cheers, darling.
Uncle Sky's back in popular demand. Sweet potato, chipotle.
If you call now, get it.
UncleSkies.com. Buy now. Get a holster.
This goes back to hand because I'm taking back my land drop, having Cursed Mirror enter as a copy of Tireless Tracker, which means it enters tapped because of Authority of Consuls and gains your life. You're welcome.
Thank you.
But now that I have a Tireless Tracker on board, I will play my land per turn, generating some sort of gosh dang clue.
I have a clue.
Thanks.
Because you don't have a clue.
Yeah.
He has no clue. Now you have a clue.
I will pay 1 for a Goblin Welder, which also enters tapped and gives you lifeless.
This card's
That-
ridiculous in EDH.
No.
I pass.
Draw for turn. Play Fable Passage. Get a clue. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, go, okay, that's later. I have 4 more lands. So when I do sacrifice this to go search, it won't come into play tapped.
You know, drinking water doesn't actually help.
It just is diluting the stomach ache.
So now that I have a second land that hits a battlefield, and because I had 4 or more, I get to untap it. So my island comes in tapped, and then it untaps. It's
I'll
a
show you a
misprint. It's a
weird
miscut.
cut.
It's a miscut island. And I have now 2 clues. More clues than Skylar. He needs to continue to get a clue.
Committed to this line.
I'm committed. I'm gonna tap 4 and lose 2 for the black. And now I have my commander out. Blue, green, white, red, as far as the mana goes. Oh, you suck. Oh, that's
sucks to
so annoying. I cast Omnath, Locus of All. Legendary creature, Phyrexian Elemental. If you would lose unspent mana, that mana becomes black instead. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, look at the top card of your library. You may reveal a card if it has 3 or more colored mana symbols in the cost. If you do, add 3 mana in any combination of its colors and put it into your hand. If you don't, reveal it and put it into your hand. So my pre-combat main phase already happened, so that does not trigger this turn, but next turn it shall. I actually will just keep this as a blocker, and I will pass the turn.
You only cast 1 spell, right?
I only did the 1 spell.
Cool.
But I did make 2 clues.
At least you got plenty of clues.
I got plenty of clues.
Untap, upkeep, draw. White, 1 generic, and a reduction of 2. Cast Baneslayer Angel. It is a 5/5 with flying, first strike, lifelink, protection from dragons and demons.
Gross.
That is really not cool.
What I like to call a big dick beater. Guy,
What?
I will attack you for 2 again.
Fair enough.
2 commander names too.
I will gain 2 more from lifelink.
For this
OP.
Play the backside, Sajiri's Glacier. Comes in tapped, and it taps for 1 white. Pass the turn.
Yay. Not what we need. Well, this is not great over there. We have to get Adrix out. So I will tap a green, a blue, and 2 colorless to cast my commander, Adrix and Neff, twin casters. Ward 2. If 1 or more tokens would be created under your control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead. Unfortunately, there are no tokens being created. Yes. I allow it. All right, I pass turn.
You had no choice.
Untap, draw. Sequencing is gonna be a real beastie on this one, but I'm gonna try to do this, guys, okay? I'm gonna float a red. I'm gonna tap Goblin Welder to sack Cursed Mirror, target these 2 for the graveyard switcheroo. Does it resolve?
Sure.
This goes to graveyard and this comes back. Now I'm gonna sack this to look at the top card of Lynch's library and draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep.
You just look at it?
Not revealed.
Just me.
It's a land.
I've never
He makes that noise when he...
play a Buried Ruin land per turn. Just watch if I have to undo that later. But I have to get 5 mana to cast Ashnod the Uncaring. 1/4 Human Artificer with Death Touch, and she says whenever you activate an ability of an artifact or creature that isn't a mana ability, if 1 or more permanents were sacrificed to activate it, you may copy that ability. You may choose new targets for the copy.
It enters tapped. You gain
I
a
wanted
life.
to do that. I wanted to slide over there into the DMs and be like, hey,
That's
it's tapped.
Tap it good.
I would have enough mana to use Engineer to get the thing out of my
You're
mana pool,
out.
but
You're
it's in
tapped.
there, and so I guess I'll go to combat and attack nobody because I'm a loser. Pass.
I will untap. For my upkeep, I'm going to pay 1 white to Enlightened Tutor. Search your library for an artifact or enchantment card, reveal it, then shuffle and put the card on top of your library.
I took
I'm
it
gonna
personally.
get the Wilderness Reclamation.
I'll give you something to take personally.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
You got a Wilderness Reclamation. Is that an enchantment that reads at the beginning of your end step, untap all the lands you control? I can read upside down.
But can you read upside down and backwards?
Nard.
This will go on top of my library. Now I will draw it for turn.
I was supposed to draw at the beginning of your turn for the bobble.
Realistically, he can respond to that trigger, so now that that's resolved, you draw your card.
Draw your card.
Oh yeah, because that was all upkeep.
That was upkeep. I haven't drawn my card. I did. I drew the card right here.
All right, well, look, it happened.
That you all know. Now my pre-combat main phase, I get to look at the top card of my library. I will go ahead and I will reveal it and I'll put it in my hand. It is a North Star. I will shock in an Overgrown Tomb.
Shocking.
Create another clue. I have 3 clues.
That clue cost you 2 life, all right? You had to work for that.
I will tap 4 to cast Wilderness Reclamation, the card I tutored for. It is the second spell. Draw your freaking card. At the beginning of
So good.
Wilderness is an enchantment. It says at the beginning of your end step, untap all lands you control. Why is that relevant? Well, I could be floating mana and creating lots of black mana with Omnath. That's hopefully what I do, and then hopefully I can then finally have enough mana to use these clues. Pass the turn. Trigger at my end step, untap all the lands.
Wow, wow, wee, wow.
Untap.
And tap all of them.
Untap. Upkeep.
On your
drawing it.
upkeep, I'm gonna tap all. I'm gonna use the green to do a crop rotation. I will sacrifice the blue. I'm gonna search my library for a land card, put that onto the battlefield, then shuffle. I will search, I will get a command tower. That command tower will trigger. I will get another clue because of the tireless tracker. This will go to my graveyard. Then it'll be your turn.
Well, I mean, it's my turn this
It's your
whole
turn,
time.
sorry.
I'm just waiting. Can I go to my draw step now?
My unspent mana will turn into 4 black mana.
Indeedies.
My pre-combat main phase. Go ahead and play this land. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, 7 mana to cast a Chroma, Vision of Ixidor. So it is a 6/6 flying first strike vigilance trample. Tasty keywords.
Taste the spice.
Oh my.
At the beginning of each combat until end of turn, each other creature I control gets +1 if it has flying, +1 if it has first strike, and so on for double strike, death touch, haste, hexproof, indestructible, lifelink, menace, protection, reach, trample, vigilance, and partner.
Basically, creatures get +1/+1 till end of turn for each keyword ability they have.
Correct.
Pretty much, which
Right,
there
that's what I
are a
said,
couple that
basically.
are missing.
Where's
and-
banding, for example? What about flanking, for
Screw
example?
that. All right, go to combat.
Before you go to combat, I will go ahead and float to get 5.
Come on,
5
cast a
unspent
spell. Trigger on the stack. This will get 1, 2, 3, 4, +4, and this will get +1. I am going to declare attackers, and I'm gonna swing at our friend from across the ocean.
From across the pond.
Welcome, dude.
My response to this must be a hybridization of your Achroma.
What? I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Usually I'm getting hybridized.
Destroy target creature. It can't be regenerated. That creature's controller creates a 3/3 green frog lizard, aka Frizzard creature token. Yes.
Yeah, this one's attacking you.
Yeah,
This
that's
is what
fine,
gives the
but
buff.
this is way mightier in the
All
overall.
right, create my
But what am I gonna
3/3
do?
Frizzard. And would you like to do anything about the attacking creature?
I
which
cannot.
Is a
I am a helpless sheep in an ocean of wolves.
+4.
It is still buffed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You'd have to destroy this beforehand.
Ah, so it got the buff.
9.
At least I have my commander out.
Post-combat main phase.
Cries in German.
Weinen.
I'm gonna just do this save time. I'm gonna lose 2, go into 3, crack a clue, which will then also give me a +1 counter on Tireless Tracker, and I draw a card.
Pass.
Yay. Aufstieg. Cast Sakashima by tapping an island and 3.
Oh dear God.
Colorless.
Oh no.
You may have Sakashima of 1,000 faces enter the battlefield as a copy of another creature you control, except it has Sakashima of 1,000 faces other abilities. The legend rule does not apply to permanents you control. I also can have it partner if I wanted to. It has to be another Adrix and Nev. It's not a token that this.
Do you think Sakashima is
Let me just slide in over there.
so amazing?
My goodness.
Leaf.
And then I'm going to tap 3, cast Jahira, Friend of the Forest.
Trigger.
A trigger here on the cast. I will draw myself a curb.
Yes. This human elf druid have tokens I control tap for a forest. And I can choose a background. Comes into play.
And it comes into play tapped, and you gain a life.
It's like, let me gain my own life.
Pass turn.
You think this is strong?
Uh-oh.
Okay, friendos, I'm untapping, drawing a card, cursing my name. Mountain tap goblin engineer, sacking this clue, and targeting this bauble. If that ability resolves, the clue is gone, and Ashnod sees the effect and copies the effect. So I'm gonna target the bauble, and then I'm gonna target the cursed mirror. Cursed mirror I will have enter as a copy of the tracker, which comes in tapped and gains you a life. Land per turn, which triggers the tracker to give me this clue back. I don't have as many clues as Mike. I tap 4. Wait, I haven't cast any spells yet.
No, you have not.
Yes! I cast Lithiform Engine, which is a legendary artifact, paid 4 for it. It has 3 abilities. I can pay 2 and tap it to copy target activated or triggered ability I control. I may choose new targets for the copy. I can pay 3 and tap it to copy target instant or sorcery spell I control. I may choose new targets for it. Or I can pay 4 and tap it to copy target permanent spell I control. That copy becomes a token. I guess I could go to combat and pass like a sad boy.
Before you pass, I will go to 1 unspent mana to crack a clue, going to 2 clues, which will then also trigger Tireless Cracker. I did just say Tireless Cracker. He's a cracker-ass cracker. And I will draw a card. We'll then go to my turn, untap, draw for turn. Pre-combat main phase. Omnath Locus Fall will trigger. I get to look at the card and I may reveal it. I will reveal it and I'll put it in my hand. It's a Black Sun Zenith.
Love that card.
Omnath.
Omnath? Is that what you just said?
Omnath.
Like OMG, but OM.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Hum nom nom now.
Hum nom nom nath.
If I were to -3, I would wipe most of the board.
Why would you do that? It took me 7 turns to get 2 things out.
Because I don't like what he's doing here. I'll let you keep that.
Oh, my trinkety piece of shit value engine. Value.
All right, I'm gonna play a swamp, which will trigger, and I'll get another clue. So I'll tap 1 black, lose a black, 1, 2, 3, and I'll cast Black Sun Zenith. Put 3 -1 counters each creature. Shuffle Black Sun into its owner's library.
So that's going on the stack, yeah?
Yes.
With -3.
I pass priority. I have nothing to do.
My board is donezo.
Before you scoop up the poop over there. Before Black Sun Zenith resolves, I'm going to tap and sack Mishra's Bauble to look at the top card of your library, Eileen's library, which Ashnod sees and copies, because it is a sack activated ability. So I will also look at the top card of your library, and at the beginning of the next upkeep, I will be drawing 2 cards. So let me see these, and please help me remember to draw those cards.
It's flattery. It's because he likes our decks. You love our decks.
I think I'm going to tap Goblin Welder, targeting these 2 cards. Switch a rune.
Okay.
It will sack this clue, because clues are for dorks.
Nerd.
All I wanted.
Michael, and that returns this Mishra's Bauble to play. So does that all happen?
Resolve.
I still have 1 more action before. Actually, I don't, because it's -3, so it doesn't matter. Pass priority.
Okay, so
Black
this
Sun
resolves.
Zenith
Black Sun
resolved.
Zenith resolved. I now shuffle it back into my library,
So my Frizzard is dead. My Aspirant is
which
dead.
is probably why you didn't target me to see what was on my library, because it's going to get shuffled away.
I didn't think that far ahead, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Never
I
do.
thought that's why.
Nope.
So you can't do any damage. Hit Sky with both Omnath and my Tireless Cracker for 3 total damage.
So I take 1, 2, 3.
I'm going to pay 2. I'm going to crack
second.
Clue.
Crack it, second, dude.
This
Bop it.
will,
Get a +1, and now there's nothing on it.
and I draw a card.
Yep.
I will go to my end step. I will untap all my lands.
Also on end step, I will tap and sack Mishra's Bauble for another round of looking at yours and yours top cards.
Mine's the same, so.
Whatever. I had already forgotten what it was. Somehow yours is the same too. That's crazy.
How is it? Well, I did shuffle.
I know.
That's why.
Uh-huh.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Untap Upkeep.
I draw 4 cards.
Correct.
I played a land for turn, right? I played that swamp.
Upkeep, I have no trigger, so I will go to draw step. Plains. Ring a ding ding dong. I'm gonna tap for
Nice.
3.
Yep.
Sword of Hearth and Home.
Oh, goodness.
Snapple.
I'm going to pay 2. I'm gonna attach it to Mangara. Sword of Hearth and Home. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from green and white. Whenever the equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, exile up to 1 target creature I own, and then search my library for a basic land card. Put both cards onto the battlefield under my control.
Yeah, flicker and ramp.
Go to combat.
You're in combat.
Beginning of combat, declaration of attackers. I will swing both creatures. I will swing the Baneslayer at Sky, and I will swing my commander Evelynch.
How big?
My commander will be swinging for 1, since it has the -1/1 counters on it.
I go take it.
3 lifelink. 1, 2, 3. Trigger the sword. I will flicker the Baneslayer Angel and search my library for maybe a plane.
A basic land of any kind.
A basic planes.
I will go ahead and tap 4,
Yep.
1 white, and 3 to cast Adrix Lunarch Marshal.
Who shares everything?
He loves
Yeah.
the soup, man.
Keyword soup
He
again.
wants the soup.
You really are. You're like soup tribal. You're keyword
Soup
tribal.
tribal.
Keyword tribal.
Adrix is a 3/3 human. At the beginning of each combat, creatures I control gain first strike until end of turn if a creature I control has first strike. Same as true for flying, death touch, double strike, haste, hexproof, indestructible, lifelink, menace, reach, skulk, trample, and vigilance.
Love Skulk.
Passing the turn.
Hallelujah. I thought the day would never come, but here it is now.
So serene.
Oh.
So sexy.
Here we go.
You're tapping 7.
I'm going to make myself a
And
little
you're
token.
activating.
Sequence engine. Yes, for all the people in your cars that are just only listening on an auditory level. I am making myself an angel token.
No, a fractal token, no?
Yes,
So X
fractal
tap.
token.
Exile target creature with mana value X from a graveyard. So X is 7.
Yes.
Create a 0/0 green-blue fractal creature token. Put X/1/1 counters on that token. Activate only as a sorcery.
So 7.
So it's not a copy of
No,
my
it's
angel.
not.
That's
Okay.
sad face.
I know.
But
I
it's
am
a
a-
7/7, and that beats, and you can't animate that.
Right?
I assume you're done. You look done.
I have nothing else to say.
Oh, and she cancels.
Oh my god,
God damn it! Can somebody get rid of this freaking card, please?
Believe me, if I could, I would.
My God.
I'm going, I untap, and I draw.
It's always there, just like poking.
I'm tapping 4 for a Machine God's Effigy. This is an artifact that says you may have Machine God's Effigy enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it's an artifact and has tap to add blue. It's not a creature. So I'm gonna target Tracker, Tireless Tracker. It has that creature's abilities, but it is not a creature, so it doesn't enter tapped or gain you a life.
That card has so much potential. Just the first thing that comes to mind is Devoted Druid. To put -1/1 counters on it, untap it for mana.
Oh, tight. Is to play my land per turn. Myriad Landscape generates a clue because I have a Tireless
Tracker ability.
Machine Gun, Ephagog. I tap 2 more for a Talisman of Indulgence, which can tap for a diamond, or I can pay a life to get red or black out of it.
Trigger on cast.
Yeah!
Yay!
And then I think, since I'm already in this deep, I should just tap 1, a black and a blue, for Silas Wren, Seeker Adept, which does enter tapped and gain you a stupid life, stupid ass, stupids.
No. I want to do it.
Okay, cool. Do you want to tap him too? You can't. Okay, fine. Silas Wren is a 2/2 legendary artifact creature human with Death Touch, and whenever Silas Wren Seeker Adept deals combat damage to a player, choose target artifact card in your graveyard. You may cast that card this turn. It has partner, which doesn't matter. So he's tapped. Ashnod's not attacking. I'm tapped out.
Before you go, I will tap 6. On your passing to me will then become 6 floating black mana.
Tight.
Then I will go to my turn. I will
Real
untap,
shame if somebody killed it.
draw a card.
That, Omnath.
Yeah.
Hum nom nom now.
Nom, 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 nom.
Pre-combat main phase, I get to look at a card. I then reveal the card, and I'll put that card into my
Is that
hand.
another miscut island?
My private island for my sexy people. I'm gonna play a forest, which will trigger tireless cracker.
Tireless tracker cracker?
Actually, perfect
gets
delivery.
better
Don't
and
even
better.
redo that. That was perfect.
And it goes to 3. Tireless cracker gives me another clue.
So tireless.
There we go.
So cracker.
Because
Full-
he's doing
full of
all of
crackers.
that, like,
Now I'm going to tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. So I have 12 that I'm going to tap.
Jesus.
And then I'm going to use green as the one thing. So it'll be 12X. I am going to cast
dear Lord.
Animist Awakening. Reveal the top X cards, which is 12, of your library. Put all land cards from among them onto the battlefield tapped and the rest in the bottom of your library random order. If there are more than 2 instant or sorcery cards in my graveyard, which there is, Crop Rotation, Enlightened Tutor, and swords, I get to have those lands come in untapped. We reveal 12 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Whip
8,
9,
10. So 1, 2, 3,
That's not too
4.
bad.
So I got 4, and then these get shuffled in a random order, and these go in the bottom of my library. And because I had the thing, they won't come in tapped. I did just have 4 hit. Tireless cracker, we'll see it. So I get another 4.
Yep. Dice are hard. I get
Dice
it.
are
I'm with you, dude. I'm with you,
hard.
dude.
I'm going to tap 2,
Fort's
and I'm going to
strong
crack one of these, so that I'll go to 6, which will then give my Tireless Cracker a +1 counter for sacking a clue, and then I will draw a card.
You sacrificed the crew?
Zach the crew.
Hey, he
I
has
have
to say a
7.
lot of words, okay? They're not all going to be right.
No, most time they're wrong.
But that's the beauty of it, is like, is it even an episode if you don't
No.
mispronounce something?
Go to combat. I will tap for 2. So I will get 2 unspent black mana for Omnath's ability. I am then going to pass through my combat if everyone lets it resolve in priorities. I will then pass through to my end step, which will untap all of this mana.
On tap.
On your upkeep, I'm going to use the 2 black to crack a clue, which will take me to 5
to
clues.
crack for the tireless crack.
And the cracker will get another +1 counter. And I draw a card.
Untap, upkeep, there are nothing. You did your thing. I draw step. I will start with 1 white, Esper of Sentinel.
Wow.
Whenever an opponent casts their first non-creature spell each turn, draw a card unless that player pays X, where X is Esper Sentinel's power. Excuse me.
Cards.
Yep.
For sure.
All right. White.
Pay the 1?
White.
Pay the 1?
And 3. 5 mana to cast Karmic Guide. 2/2 flying protection from black. Angel. It has Echo, so I have to pay its Echo cost at the beginning of my next upkeep, which I don't think I've ever done. When Karmic Guide enters battlefield, return a creature card from my graveyard to the battlefield. Sad
The big hot
the
one.
big angel
Yeah.
is gone, so I will target the Star Helm Aspirant.
Cute.
Go to combat. So beginning of combat, I will trigger Adrix. All of my dudes will get flying, first strike, lifelink,
Soup for everybody.
declaration of attackers. I will swing Mangara, Baneslayer. I will swing Baneslayer at you, Lynch, for 5, and I will swing Mangara at you for 1. Remind me your name again?
Peter.
Peter.
Yeah.
I'm awful with names.
That's quite all right.
And that will be all of my attacks. So priority.
Take it, I have no blocks.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah, so there we go. Trigger Sword of Hearth and Home. I will flicker Mangara and go fetch a basic land. You're a cracker counter.
Cracker gets a counter. Cracker counters.
I'll pay 3 to cast Secret Rendezvous. Peter,
Yes?
you and I are gonna draw 3 cards.
Well, it's not secret anymore, is it?
Well, too bad. I have to name the target.
Thank
so.
you.
I hope you're excited for the rendezvous part.
I am very.
Rendezvous, just so everyone knows.
Okay, that's nice.
I'm gonna draw my 3 cards and just not say anything.
Cool.
The
A mí
land
me gusta
fetch.
jugar con mis
All right.
amigos.
I will
A mí también.
Mi también.
pass the turn.
Yay! From the Austrian mountains, I present to you a forest. But that would be really, really mean and evil.
To get rid of that?
To get rid of all of Eileen's creatures.
How do you get rid of all of them?
If they're all flying at this particular time when I cast my spell,
Oh, that's a good thing.
they're dead.
I mean, you could just not.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not a crook.
So I'm going to do this at this particular time. If we're entering combat phase, then it goes. They're all flying. I'm going to pay 2 greens and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 X and channel Arashi, the sky asunder. Discard Arashi. Arashi deals X damage to each creature with flying.
Wow.
That's just your board.
Goddamn.
Sorry.
Fuck.
Bye, angels.
Brutal.
But it's
amazing.
okay. They go to heaven and they can maybe be resummoned.
Please pay attention. Is there
We are paying attention.
is there a creature card with mana value 1 in anyone's?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've won. Goblin Welder.
The welder will be removed, and I will create a 1/1
Exiled.
fractal. It's called Fraktalwesen in German. If anyone
Very
cares.
menacing.
Oh my God! There it is again!
And the gaining of life. That's why
now I don't feel as bad anymore.
You should have still hit swing.
Yeah,
swung
no,
big.
that's up to you. You have to do that. I'm passing.
Cool.
Sky, what are you doing?
Let's go. I'm going to untap and drop a Torn. I believe my first play is this command tower, which gives me a clue because I have tireless machine gun. Then I'm going to pay 2 and tap Myriad Landscape to sacrifice Myriad Landscape to fetch lands. Now, this is not going to be doubled by Ashnod because this only affects abilities of artifacts or creatures. But I believe I can pay 2 and copy the activated ability I control with Lithoform Engine.
Believe so.
So Myriad Landscape is paid for and sacked, and I paid 2 to use Lithoform Engine to copy the trigger, the ability, and so I've fetched 2 pairs of lands that share, basic lands that share a
come in
type.
tapped?
They will come into play tapped, and they will all trigger my tireless machine gun,
Oh.
leaving me with
Oh, he's finally got more clues than you.
6 Cluedles.
Who thought that was gonna happen?
More clues
There's a little
than
clue meta
my
race
cat. So I now have 6 clues, combats, and
Enter the battlefield.
I'm definitely coming
That's
at
not gonna happen.
definitely coming at Eiley just because I want to get Silas in. Just takes 2.
So you go to 7.
And that ability triggers when it deals combat damage to a player. Choose target artifact card in your graveyard. I may cast that card this turn. I am choosing Mishra's Bauble. Damage is done. I go to my second main.
I will respond. I'm gonna tap 11, and then that'll just give me 11 floating black.
play this Bauble.
Bibbidi bobble.
Bibbidi Bobble.
Booty bubble.
But hey,
Wow, my turn? You're shipping it? Thank you. So I will untap.
What'd you thank me for?
I will draw for turn,
He looked at me and said that.
and then I am going to do the Omnath thing. I will then go ahead and put Vidalcan Orrery in my hand.
that's hot. Wait, so you reveal that with Omnath? Because it has 3 of the same mana?
No. So if it had 3 or more, then I get
Yeah, you
any
get
combination.
yeah.
Otherwise, I just reveal
Do
and put it in my
you run
hand.
spells with 3 pips
Yes,
in the
yes,
deck? I
yes.
felt like it would be 3-pip tribal.
That card is mostly used for that first part.
I'm gonna go from 11 to 6 using 5 colorless, or 5 black. Then I'm gonna tap 2 green. I'm gonna cast Avenger of Zendikar.
I knew you had that.
When Avenger of Zendikar enters the battlefield, create a 0/1 green plant creature token for each land you control. I control 11. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may put a +1 counter on each plant you control. So,
That's the card that I saw on top of his deck twice.
well, I shuffled it
And
away.
he shuffled-
Now I get to do other stupid shenanigans.
Just gained 12 life.
I know.
Thank you, Lynn. They're
Highly
also
tapped.
all tapped.
I can't believe they're all freaking tapped. Okay, I will play a Marsh Flats that does not come in tapped, luckily, but that will trigger my Cracker, who will go to another clue to 6. I will tap and lose a life. All my plants get a +1, and then once I get another land, I'll get another clue, and I'll get a Badlands. Then I'm gonna use 3 black to go to 3 left, tap the Savannah for green, and I'm going to cast to Oracle Moldaia. Elf Shaman, 2/2. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. You may play the top card of your library revealed. You may play a land card from the top of your library.
Don't worry, I saw it.
Oh, God. At least you actually remember. Like, if I had that, I would never. I don't remember anything.
you know what I didn't do though?
One
Gain a
mana
life.
card is.
A 1 mana card that just puts a thorn
Has
in
been here
all
since
of
turn
our
one. No, turn
sides.
2.
And gave her like 50 life.
Could have been turn 1.
I'll use the 3 black and 1 green, and I'm going to cast an enchantment. Boseiju reaches skyward. I will then put a 1 because it is an enchantment saga. Search your library for up to 2 basic forest cards, reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle. Oh, there's 1. That goes to my hand though.
We're halfway there.
Whoa! We're halfway there. Whoa!
So I failed to find 2. Oracle of Moldaia will let me play an additional land, and it lets me play lands from the top of my library. So I will go ahead and I will play the swamp from the top of my library.
Triggers.
I will then reveal this. I will trigger my cracker. Because I have Oracle Moldaia, I may play an additional land, and I can play land from the top. I will play the swamp. Then I have to reveal the next card, which is Awaken the Woods.
Good card.
This will then trigger my tireless cracker to now give me, I have 7 clues. I also get another +1 counter on all of my 11 plants. Wait, no, I had 5 clues. Should that be 8 clues? So I played a Marsh Flats, which then tapped and gave me a clue.
Oh, yeah.
And then I put a Badlands into play, which should have given me another clue to 7. And this should have taken me to 8. I should go to 8 clues because I almost forgot the trigger from when the Badlands hit. So I have 8 clues, which also means I should have 3 +1 counters on my plants. 11, 3, 4 plants. I'm gonna tap 2 green and 3, doesn't matter what the color. I'm gonna play Wrenn and 7. 5 counters on Wrenn and 7. Wrenn and 7 is a planeswalker. +1 is reveal top 4 cards of your library. Put all land cards revealed this way into your hand and put the rest in the bottom of your graveyard. Or I can put 0, put any number of land cards from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. Or I can -3, created tree folk with token reach. This creature's power toughness equal number of lands you control. What I am going to do is I'm going to do a 0. 3 lands from my hand on the battlefield tapped. I'll put a forest, an island, and a world tree, which will give me 3 more clues and 3 more +1 counters. So now all my plants are 6 7s. So now I have 11 clues. I also have World Tree, which when it comes into play, it enters tap, but it came tapped anyways. But it says, as long as you control 6 or more lands, which I do, your lands you control add 1 mana of any color. So now my lands can tap for 1 of any color.
They're all
nice.
prismatic.
Tap 4, and I'll cast Vidalic and Orrery. So you may cast spells as though they had flash.
With that on the stack, I'm gonna tap and sack Mishra's Bauble to look at the top card of your deck and then your deck because
Why not my deck?
reasons. And I'll draw 2 at the beginning of the next turn. The heck?
I'm going to go to combat. Yeah, I'm gonna hit you. I'm hitting you for 6 after giving you like 20 million life. I will now go to my end step. I'm gonna now untap all 16 of my lands.
Gross.
Untap.
Baby!
Upkeep.
What's sight?
Upkeep triggers. I draw 2.
Draw a card. Pre-combat main phase. 8 mana.
Sounds like a big one's coming.
I'm gonna cast Undo Inversion to destroy
Yes.
all non-land permanents.
Fucking damn it.
Bye-bye!
I hope you have a way of winning.
I told you this deck is very battle cruisery.
I'm gonna have to do responses. In response, I'm gonna crack 1 clue, 2 clues, 3 clues, 4 clues, 5 clues, 6 clues, 7 clues, 8 clues. Drawing
Clickety-clack.
8, which would normally give me stuff, but it's not gonna matter. So 1, 7, 8.
I am also tapping 6 to crack 3 clues to draw 6 cards because Ashnod's still here.
Yup.
And then we're gonna lose everything, aren't we?
Yup.
Everything.
I got one-sided wipe, so I figure why not even things out?
I would do the same.
Beautifully done.
All non-land permanents.
That is so awful.
I will then play my land for the turn. Tap 2 for Pearl Medallion.
For a pearl medallion. Okay. Draw. Come on.
Wow, I've missed a bunch of triggers on my Adventures Fair for artifact gain life.
I totally forgot you had that.
Oopsie daisy.
and you should have been gaining life.
Yeah, my bad.
And we went back to the scoreboard and had our judges take a look.
Thank you, judges.
He kept hiding it, so we couldn't see it. He missed 3 instances. At home, you can double check and rewatch to see if we missed one, but I believe it is 3 instances. Technically be 1, 2, 3. You're at 39 instead of 36.
Thank you.
We caught it late.
Sorry.
We're trying to get better at catching things. The Austrians.
The Austrian
at it.
mountain. Well, I hope you catch this one. I am playing Lanovala Reborn. Comes into battlefield tapped. Did you guys notice, by the way, now that we can talk openly,
Yeah.
authority of the consoles is gone.
It's gone.
You're welcome. I'm the one who blew it up.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
It's a graft land. It comes into the battlefield tapped, and it gives this land enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, you may move a +1/+1 counter from this land onto it. I'm going to cast Adrix. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then I'm going to throw out a Simic
I'll let it resolve.
Signet.
Sorry.
Thank you. This will be, unfortunately, the end of my turn.
Untap and draw. I'll play a mountain, land for turn. I'll tap 4 for Joyra, Weatherlight Captain.
yeah.
Does that resolve? I will pay red-blue to cast Enthusiastic Mechanaut. Cast trigger, draw for Joyra. Joyra Weatherlight Captain is a 3/3 legendary human artificer with whenever you cast a historic spell, draw a card. That's artifacts, legendaries, and sagas. And then Enthusiastic Mechanaut is a 2/2 flying goblin artificer with artifact spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. So that triggered, I drew. Pay 1 for an Is It Signet.
Is it?
That triggers Joyra, I draw. I tap a black, cast Felwar Stone, draw off Joyra. Probably want to go ahead and use the stone to activate the Signet, floating 2, using 1 to play this other Signet and drawing, floating the red, I guess. Cast Idol of Oblivion for 1. This is an artifact that says tap, draw a card, activate only if you created a token this turn, and 8, tap, sack, create a 10/10 colorless Eldrazi creature token. Trigger, draw. I was gonna do some crazy shit with that board last turn, so sad that it didn't happen, but that's okay.
Eiley, destroyer of dreams and hopes.
I pay 1 blue
I'll take
for
it.
this Emery Lurker of the Loch. It's 2 and a blue, but it costs 1 less for each artifact I control. It's a 1/2 Merfolk Wizard, and it is legendary, so on cast trigger, I'll draw off Joyra. If it resolves, it reads, when Emery Lurker of the Loch enters the battlefield, mill 4 cards, and I can tap and choose target artifact in my graveyard. I may cast it this turn. These 4 cards are milled. Prophetic Prism, Vidalcan Orrery, Dimir Aqueduct just the first 2 are artifacts. So those are in here now. I'm going to tap black to cast a 1-mana Ichor Wellspring. Cast trigger, Joyra draws. Ichor Wellspring enters the battlefield and reads, when it enters the battlefield or is put in a graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card. So I'll draw off of it. Next spell is a Wayfarer's Bauble for free because of the Mechanaut reduction. I draw off of Joyra. Wayfarer's Bauble can pay 2 tap sack to search for a basic and put it into play tapped. I'll pay 2. I'm just tapping the Draw Swords Bridge to activate the Signet, so I have red-black floating. I'll use the black to cast Executioner's Capsule, triggering Joyra, draw. 1 and a black tap sack, destroy target non-black creature. I have red floating and 1 land untapped. Tap a second and cast Ashnod's Altar, which triggers Joyra, and I draw.
I might have 78 life, but that.
That's why you popped too early. You should have waited to blow. You know?
Are you kidding me? You had all of those
I guess you're
tokens.
correct. I did.
I can't attack, I'm tapped out, clean up, and need to discard down to 7, which I'll do as quick as I can. 1, 2.
Okay, I will untap and just go to my turn. Draw.
On cleanup, I will discard Darkwater Catacombs, Mistvault Bridge, Spine of Ishsaw, and Seed of the Synod.
Tap 7. I'm going to cast Chromatic Orrery, legendary artifact. You may spend mana as though it were mana of any color. I can also tap it to get 5 colorless. I can also pay 5 colorless, tap it, draw a card for each color among permanents you control. Mana color doesn't matter for me anymore because my lands are all colors. I'm going to tap 2, cast Jensen, Corinthian. Whenever you cast a multicolor spell, scry 1. If that spell is all colors, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. I will then tap the Chromatic Orrery for 5. I will also pay the 2 life, screw it, and then I will cast Omnath, but I think I still have to pay 1 more.
1.
Then I get to scry. Okay, I'll keep that there. And then I create, do you have a white angel? So I just get one, this one, right here. Okay. I will play a Cascading Cataracts, which is an indestructible land, which now taps for any colors because of the chromatic orrery.
You have two things that are making your lands prismatic.
So
The World Tree and the orrery.
Cool.
So I'll tap 2, and I'll cast Zimone, Quandrix Prodigy, Human Wizard, 1/2. I can pay 1, tap it. You may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped, or I can pay 4, tap it, draw a card. If you control 8 or more lands, draw 2, which I currently do, so it is relevant. I will also then scry 1. I'll still keep it there. And then I'm gonna pay 2. I'm gonna cast Sylvan Library, enchantment. At the beginning of your draw step, draw 2 additional cards. If you do, choose 2 cards in your hand drawn this turn for each of those cards, pay 4 life, or put it on top of your library. Pass the turn.
Man, I feel like my board wipe didn't do shit.
On your upkeep, I'm just gonna tap 3.
Untap, upkeep, draw.
My mana will now turn into black because it was unspent.
Play a plains, 5/6 with a reduction of 1. Cast Bruna the Fading Light. When I cast Bruna the Fading Light, I may return target angel or human from graveyard to battlefield. Ooh. Cast trigger will target Karmic Guide. Karmic Guide will enter the battlefield, and I can return a creature from graveyard to battlefield. Returning Baneslayer. Finish resolving Bruna the Fading Light. Tap sack Command Beacon to put Mangara into my hand. Spend 3 with a reduction of 1 to cast the Diplomat. Pass the turn.
Wow, what a recovery.
That was
Beautiful.
better.
Okay, a land will enter. Green, green, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and cast Nissa. This time with no Phyrexian spent. We're going to do a +1 here. Use this ability. Create an XX green Phyrexian horror creature token where X is Nissa's loyalty. Since Adrix is out, we're going to do this twice and say Farabizio, Fabaribizio. They're both 8/8s. Can I just give a 1/1 counter from this land onto it? Yeah, I can just do that. Then I make one of them a 9/9er. Right.
Just to get that
1,
extra
2, 3,
smack in.
4.
Just to
Get the extra smack in. And you know what? While we're at it, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 Phyrexian. I lose 2 life, and this comes in with 2 fewer loyalty counters. This is Tamio, completed Sage, and it allows me to do. Should I read this?
Tamio?
All of
Yeah.
it? Yeah. Are you familiar?
No.
Not that particular
familiar.
Tamio.
Okay, so +1 is tap up to 1 target artifact or creature. It doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. -X is exile target non-land permanent card with mana value X from your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of that card. And -7 is create Tamio's Notebook, a legendary colorless artifact token with spells you cast cost 2 less to cast and tap draw a card.
That is your second spell, so I will draw a card.
If you say so.
The Austrian is thinking.
I don't know if I should be scared or not.
Sequence engine, I have to get rid of it.
We have to be able to joke around, right? This is
I mean, that's what the
nothing's
whole show
important to
is.
laugh and have fun with friends.
Absolutely, that's what magic's all about.
I love your accent, though.
Even in Austria?
Thank you.
Is that what it's about?
No, in Austria it's about
Killing.
destroying.
Yes. No one
So
smiles.
you're using your +1.
I'm going to tap Emery.
Big tapped, and we'll call
And
this
we'll-
like a stun counter or whatever.
Stun
Help me
counter is
remember
cool,
to
yeah.
not untap it.
And thank you for being patient with the old Peter over here.
Is
Not
that his
going
English?
to-
Is American accent?
This is my American
The
accent.
old Peter. Buongiorno. Italian.
I'm gonna tell you what. I pass turn.
You have more than 3 artifacts that says that your upkeep this triggers?
Yeah, I was gonna do it.
Okay. I just don't want you to forget again.
Untap, upkeep, gain a life off Inventor's Fair. Can't untap Emery, draw a card. Land
I
per
can't talk.
turn, Great Furnace.
Artifact land.
It is an artifact land, but I'm not casting, so I don't draw off nothing. 3 here to cast a Hedron Archive, which triggers Joyrite, and I draw. Can tap, diamond, or 2 tap, sack, draw 2 cards. Pay 1, 2 for a Foundry Inspector. Cast trigger Joyra, draws me a card.
Now your artifact spells are 2 less.
Correct.
You cast a second spell?
Did.
Cool.
Hate you.
So good.
Attempt to recast my commander. 6, 7. To cast Mishra. Does it resolve?
Resolves.
Either way, I draw on Joyra on cast.
It's a game that never ends.
Need black, black, and I'm holding up red, so okay. Pay black, black, and tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artifacts. Actually, this one. For improvise on this Herald of Anguish, which is a 5/5 demon with improvise, flying, and at the beginning of your end step, each opponent discards a card, and the activated ability 1 black, sack an artifact, target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. So I assume that resolves.
Does the Executioner's Capsule need to be tapped as part of its cost?
Yeah,
Cool.
so I kind of botched that, but.
You have 4 minutes left.
Cast Duretti, Scrap Savant. That is a legendary, so I draw a Joyra, right?
Yes, Planeswalkers are legendary spells.
Drawing off of Duretti. Duretti is a Planeswalker with 3 loyalty that can be your commander, but ignore that. +2, discard up to 2 cards and draw that many cards. -2, sack an artifact. If you do, return target artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield. And -10, you get an emblem with whenever an artifact is put in your graveyard from the battlefield, return that card to the battlefield at the beginning of the next end step. -2, Duretti, sacking Ichor Wellspring, which draws me a card, targeting Spine of Ish-Saw. Assuming that ability resolves, this enters the battlefield. Well, in the spirit of Eiley having 78 life and a 5/5 lifelinker, I will target Baneslayer with the Spine of Ish-Saw.
Not the one you wanna do, but sure.
Well, don't worry, you're not the only one who's gonna get a taste of this.
You
because
realize he's gonna loop that. That's not
Oh, I
gonna
know.
be. If we don't get rid of Duretti, he's just gonna keep doing it.
Going to combat, Mishra's ability triggers creating a war form that I will have copy Spine of Ish-Saw. It enters and has the same ETB ability. I'll go after Nissa with the second Spine.
Hang on, I respond. This one.
Catch, eat.
That's just hello in Austria.
Yeah.
How did you know?
This is how
You
it
met
says.
my mother.
Thank you. Quickly before I forget,
Oh,
I'm gonna
man.
tap Idol of Oblivion to draw a card because I've had a token enter the battlefield under my control this turn. In combat now, the
Yeah,
war form
are you
can
attacking?
attack. The only good attacks I have are Enthusiastic Mechanaut going after Tamio.
Swing it at me, I'll just take it.
I don't believe you.
This
will.
is not a.
I do have 78 life, but I'd rather hit Tamio.
Why? I didn't do anything.
I don't like. You tapped my Emery!
Well, I mean, for good reason.
That's why you killed my Planeswalker and
Yeah.
my other one?
Mechanaut attacking this and Warform attacking Lynch.
So we're going to damage step.
Go
2,
ahead and
3,
take
4.
the damage. Going to second main, I'm going to use Ashnod's Altar to sack Mishra's Warform to make 2 mana. And I'm going to use one of those to cast a Commander's Sphere, because I'm discounted by 2. That triggers Joyra, so I draw with 1 and 1 floating. I can cast.
The problem is definitely not me.
We're all problems. Until we all need to die.
The
Someone
only-
has to win this game.
With that 1 floating and red from Commander's Sphere, I will cast Determined Iteration. This is an enchantment that reads at the beginning of combat on your turn, populate. The token created this way gains haste, sacrificed at the beginning of the next end step. But I could stack the triggers so that Mishra makes the war form and then Determined Iteration populates it. That's my turn, which means end step I'll have to clean up and you all have to discard a card.
I will discard the North Star.
So you
I
have
will
to discard.
Discard.
Untap. Sylvan Library trigger. I get to look at the top 3. I'm going to just take 1 card. Put 2 back.
Yeah, I discarded Angelic Field Marshal.
I discarded Essex Fractal Bloom.
Pre-combat main phase, I get to look at Sylvan Library.
Oh yeah, because you can put them back in any order.
Doesn't matter.
Sauce shot.
You know what? I will take a hot shot. Sauce.
Yeah,
I will take a shot.
Here, let me pour that for you, bro. I got you.
You got it? Yeah.
Yeah,
go pour
yeehaw.
my-
Fill that glass.
No way.
I took it up to about here. I'm gonna go easy on you, buddy.
All right.
Usually you take it with food, right?
Yeah.
So set your
So-
Sylvan Library stuff properly.
So I'm reading my Sylvan Library triggers. Feeling good about it.
Now pre-combat main phase.
I get to look at a thing, reveal it. Villainous Well. It has 3 colors, so I finally can do the thing. It basically says target opponent exiles the top X cards of the library. You may cast a number of spells with the mana X or less from among them without paying their costs.
Mana
But
you
this
have.
will now go to my hand, and then I get 3 mana of any combination that is in this spell, so I can only get 1 black, green, and blue. And I get to put this card in my hand.
So do
You
want
have a lot of
angels?
badass angels,
Yeah.
don't you?
You want angels, artifacts, or fractal-y stuff?
I will play a land. So now I believe 18. I'm gonna tap 18, 19, 20, 21, 26, and then use these 3 color. Villainous Wealth for 26. I'm gonna exile 26 of your cards. Wow. As long as they're 26 or under, I can cast them.
Wow.
Do you wanna do it?
No, you
Okay.
put in the work.
So 1, that's not 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Okay, so let's do what I'm gonna start casting.
This is gonna take a minute.
I'm very excited. I've
Villainous
never
Wealth
done a
for
Villainous
X equals
Wealth for
26,
26.
yeah.
I will go ahead and cast for 3 Resplendent Angel Flying. At the beginning of each end step, if you gain 5 or more life this turn, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with Flying and Vigilance.
Trigger Mangara. Draw a
Second
card.
spell.
I will cast Sun Titan Giant. Whenever Sun Titan enters the battlefield or attacks, return target permanent card with 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. I have to have something 3 or less in here. That's the only one. 1 target.
Cracker
Tireless
back!
Target. The Cracker is back.
Are you having fun?
No,
He's playing your deck.
great.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm going to enchant my Omnath to make my Omnath indestructible with the Shield of Faith. Enchant creature. Enchant creature is indestructible. Whenever creature enters the battlefield, you may attach shield to that creature. Cast Austere Command, and I will destroy all artifacts.
And you have to pick 2 though.
Oh, I have to pick 2?
Yep.
Oh, I totally mis-sequenced this.
Sucks to
the
suck.
sauce.
All right, all creatures less than 3.
CMC 3 or less. So all artifacts and creatures CMC 3
Yep.
or less.
This is bad.
So
Don't like it.
Does that get destroyed by artifact lands too?
Yep. Anything that's not indestructible.
I have response. I will sack Commander's Sphere to draw.
I'm sorry for my bad sequencing, everyone. I just don't want to take another hot sauce shot.
It's already got you scrambled.
Yes, this is such a long game. I'm trying not to drag it out any further, so I'll just take the loss in the chin with what I lost.
And 3 artifacts and 3 or lesses.
Yep.
These punks survive, these things survive, this all goes away. I'm losing a few of these. Lands the only trigger that happens is that Spine of Ishtar comes back to my hand.
Okay. I'm going to now cast Gift of Immortality, which says enchant creature. And when you enchant creature dies, return it to the battlefield under its owner control. Return Gift of Immortality to the battlefield attached to that creature at the beginning of the next end step. Cast Mind Stone, which I tap it for colorless. I will then have Angel of Serenity enter the battlefield. Flying, 5/6. When it enters the battlefield, it may exile up to 3 other target creatures from the battle or graveyard. When it leaves, return them to the owner's hands. So 1, 2, 3. I'll exile those 3. Do you want to put it under here, or are you going to keep her in your command zone?
That's all for me? All my creatures?
Well, just because I'm scared of you the most right now.
Okay, I take it as a sign of respect.
So what are you doing? You letting everything go?
Yeah, you can have it.
Okay. I know, you can spine Ish on me. I'm gonna cast Lavinia, Keeper of Silence, flying. Activate abilities of creatures your opponent's control can't be activated. 3, 4.
Dog shit.
I'm going to cast Sierra's Emissary, flying. As Sierra's Emissary enters battlefield, choose a card type. I will say artifacts. You and creatures you control have protection from chosen card type. So now Spine Ishak can't destroy my shit, right? Perfect. Now I will cast Theraban Watcher, 2/2, flying, vigilance. Other non-token creatures you control get +1/+1 and have vigilance.
Love that card. This is like half of my Lyra Angel.
I'm gonna cast Face Reward. It's an instant. Return to the battlefield all permanent cards in your graveyard that were put there from the battlefield this turn. I will return, this goes to your Jensen will come back. The Human Druid 2/2. Tireless Tracker will come back. My Cracker with the 3/2. My Chromatic Orrery will come back. And that's it. Those are the only things I lost during the purge. I will also cast a Gauntlet of Power. As Gauntlet of Power enters the battlefield, choose a color. Creatures of chosen color get +1/+1. Whenever a basic land is tapped for mana of chosen color, its controller adds an additional mana of that color. I will choose white since my board apparently is all white.
Do keep in mind that's a symmetrical effect and it'll double Eileen's mana.
Woo!
I would think the same thing for your white creatures to get the buff, but that will double your mana.
Do you not see all of my stuff is over here? and not
It looks like all
Here?
the stuff is over
No,
here.
you got at least 4 cards in hand.
I'm gonna now cast Twilight Shepherd, Flying Vigilance. When Twilight Shepherd enters the battlefield, return all cards from the graveyard to the hand. That's already happened. I will cast Knight of the White Orchid. It's a human knight 2/2. First strike. When enters the battlefield, the opponent controls more lands. You wish no one does, so I'm not gonna do it. I'm
Math
then
rocks.
going to cast a Thrandanimo so that I have more mana. I will then cast Elsbeth, who conquers death. Exile target permanent an opponent controls with command cost 3 or greater. I think because I do have the hate for what Duretti is doing with your deck, exile Duretti, scrap Servant.
Cool. Got a lot of the attention over there.
Cast Aura of Silence, right? This just applies to opponents. Artifact enchantment spells, target opponent, additional 2 to play. I can sacrifice it to destroy target thing. I think I'll let the Hushbringer stay exiled. I will go ahead and cast Deafening Silence. Each player can't cast more than 1 non-creature spell each turn. And then I will go ahead and cast Containment Priest. If a non-token creature would enter the battlefield, if it wasn't cast, exile it instead. Then I will let these all go to your exile.
oh joy.
Big turn,
You know what?
Mikey.
If
Wow.
Lynch wins this, I win by proxy at this point.
He's winning with your cards, and that's, you know.
I will go ahead and hit Sky for, I think it's just a 4/4. Yeah. So Sky, I'm hitting you for 4.
Cool, no blocks.
Other non-token creatures you control get +1 and have Vigilance. So it's actually 5. And it has Vigilance.
6, because it is technically a white creature.
6.
And that's Commandy, yeah?
Good catch there,
Yes.
So I'm at 10 from Omnath.
Yes.
Love to hate that.
Yeah, you know, sure. Go ahead.
Can we do a quick round of applause?
No.
Doing this well. I enjoyed it. I've never done it for 26 before. That was the first.
Untap.
You don't say.
I don't say.
Upkeep.
Yep.
I will.
Might as well pay Echo. You got double mangas.
I was
Echo,
just
that's
thinking that.
I'm gonna tap 3.
I'm gonna pay the Echo cost.
Nice.
For once, I think, in my life.
Yeah, right?
And when you draw a card, I'll get 3 black mana.
Draw step. I'll pay 2 to cast Court of Grace. I become the monarch.
Did you pay 2 extra? Is that 2? Oh, because
Yeah.
it taps for
Yeah.
double.
Yep.
Yeah.
When it enters battlefield, I become the monarch. At the beginning of my upkeep, create a 1/1 spirit creature token with flying. If I'm the monarch, make a 4/4 angel with flying instead. Go to combat. Beginning of combat. I'll pay 2 to cast a Chroma's Will.
Oh, wow.
It is going to give all of my creatures flying, vigilance, double strike, indestructible, lifelink, and protection from all colors because I control my commander. That's a 6, 3, and a 3, so total of 24. Oh yeah.
You
that's
can't
right.
cast more than 1 non-creature spell.
Trying to have some hot sauce.
Sure, I'll
Brendo?
take it. I'll
Hey,
take it.
Yeah, you want some hot sauce. You.
Because I'm gonna kill Lynch.
Yeah, this is worth it.
Hit me, doctor.
Oh, yeah.
Bottoms up.
Bottoms up. Oh, gosh. Not the recommended use, but I'm glad it's happening.
Now that the shot has been taken,
No court.
no court because I can't. During the beginning of combat, cast a Chroma's Will. I control my commander, so I will get both modes. Flying, vigilance, double strike, indestructible, lifelink, protection from all colors.
Ain't that something?
I don't even care if I die after this, just
Well, you'll still have your blockers up because of the Viggies.
Use 1 of this to go to 2 floating black.
Yep.
I will sack the Mind Stone.
Yep.
Take your
Tap
Mind
and
Stone
sack.
back. Draw a card. Damn. Can't cast that. I'm gonna tap 5, and I'm gonna cast Return to the Wild Speaker. I'll draw cards equal to the greatest power among creatures you control.
dig.
Which is a 7/7.
6? Oh, it's actually 8.
Plus the,
Yeah.
the
9.
gauntlet.
7, 8,
1,
9, yeah.
2.
I've had this
5,
card in my
6,
hand for like the last 9 turns.
Yeah.
So I can use 2 black mana, and I can Assassin's Trophy your Bruna.
The fuck?
In response, though, I can sack my Aura Silence to destroy the Deafening Silence, and then still cast the thing.
So you destroy your own Deafening Silence so you can cast
That's
Assassin's
amazing.
Trophy so that you can kill one of the creatures before
Assassin's Trophy, you get a land.
Chroma's
you get to put it on
Will
the
resolve.
I
That's amazing.
fucking hate you.
Just when you back in.
Oh my god.
Here.
That's what
So
magic
you're
is
hitting me
insane.
for how
Okay.
much?
You've now officially cast 3 spells, so I would have drawn an additional card.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
guess
either
2
way.
spells, activate ability.
I'm still
card.
gonna draw a card.
Yep.
Yep.
I will now go fetch a land, shuffle.
Wow.
Come on, that was
Dude,
cool.
that
I
was
thought I was
epic.
dead.
That was
I was
insane.
like, I got so much shit. There's no way
Yeah.
I'm out yet.
I really
Beautiful.
wanted to watch her kill you, but I will high five you
Resolve?
for that.
Can I resolve this now?
Yeah.
Now it resolves.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're getting hit for 12.
Vigilance.
One of them is 6 commander damage, and I will gain 12.
Alright, what are you doing now?
Crazy.
Post-combat main phase. Somebody kill him. Play my land for the turn because I just drew a
This
couple
thing
of
probably
them.
go to graveyard.
This does go to graveyard.
2, 4, 6,
Originally, I was
8.
hoping to use the plus thing to swing and kill you guys to end the game. But then I had to use it to save my freaking ass.
You
It
sure
worked.
did.
I am going to cast 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Avacyn.
Hey.
I'm
you
gonna
passing?
pass.
Remind myself what's
Wow.
under here.
Draw.
My commander, Anguish, and Joyra. Ugh, god damn it.
1, 2, 3, 4,
So
5,
sad.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. Tapping 10 mana, 6 of them will be used for Rampaging Baloth. Trample landfall whenever land enters battlefield, create a 4/4 beast token, and Talrand, the old sky
Hey.
summoner.
Classic.
Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 2/2 blue Drake creature token with Lying. With my Planeswalker, I shall do tap target creature, no matter Sun Titan
block.
probably.
Full disclosure, I don't know because I don't.
You don't have any 3 mana value in there.
4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 7.
He can
So I
reanimate
don't-
lands, though, however.
Okay.
Can I tap all your creatures?
You only get one. I don't know
I'll
if
just
that's
go
the
with
best,
this was
but,
my
you know,
first
sure.
instinct. That is my turn.
I untap and draw. Play a Sulfur Falls per turn.
Yep.
Tap this Inventor's Fair, which didn't go off this turn because I don't have
All your artifact lands went away?
one. You
blew them
destroyed
all
the
up.
rest. You goddamn dirty ape. Antsy in my pantsy. Casting Soul Ring with that colorless mana. 1, 2, tap and sack Buried Ruin to return target artifact from my graveyard to my hand. Picking Cursed Mirror.
How did I get none of your lifelinkers?
Because you, that's why.
Like, I wish I got something with lifelink.
So, Cursed Mirror is cast for these 3 mana, and I'm having it enter the battlefield as a copy of Angel of Serenity. This doesn't target that, so your protection from artifacts doesn't.
Does not apply
Hell.
because it is not a targeting effect.
I'm having enter as an Angel of Serenity.
Get rid of some of the flyers so we can punch him a little harder.
Would they stay exiled?
Because it never leaves.
Yeah, it's just gonna become a mana rock.
But it no longer has the ability that says return them. So these are just gonna get exiled.
I'll target Angel of Serenity, which when it leaves battlefield, these go to my hand. I'll target Thraben Watcher, and I'll target Sarah's Emissary. So these
Are just gonna get exiled.
Come in
So you might
here.
as well just give them to
They're
her
gonna
exile.
stay exiled. 'Cause
Okay, I'll give them to you then.
Yeah, I don't have a way of destroying them right
And
now.
Cursed Mirror is also a 7/7 haste angel, right? So that's 5 mana for Mishra, my command man. When I go to combat, this can make a 4/4 Warform copy of, I guess, an indestructible land. Determine iteration, populates.
You've cast 2 spells. I will draw a card.
Oh, I have 2 Warforms.
Kill him!
I can't get through those. It does nothing to attack into this board, like this indestructible 5/5/6/6 whatever. Like my 4/4s just don't go through. They don't go through anywhere except to Peter. So I'll throw damage down. Sorry, Pete. Attacking you with the Warforms and the Angel.
Well, I'll block 1 4/4 with my
Okay.
6/6, and the rest will go through.
Okay, so you take 4 plus 6, 5,
That's
7.
a fancy 10 then, if I'm doing the math correctly.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna pay 2 for this Oni Cult Anvil, which reads, whenever one or more artifacts you control leave the battlefield during your turn, create a 1/1 colorless construct artifact creature token. This ability only triggers once a turn, and it can tap, sack an artifact, deals 1 damage to each opponent, I gain 1 life. Can tap it, sack one of these war forms.
We each lose a life?
You each lose a life and I gain a life. End of turn. Warform is sacked. Cursed Mirror becomes a mana rock.
Artifact. Those stay in exile forever. Okay, untapping. This stays tapped, right? For a turn. Then do what's it called? Sylvan Library.
Oh, I'm sorry. I need to discard.
I will
could've
go ahead
given me those
and I'm
backs.
just gonna draw the one card. I'm gonna trigger pre-combat main phase. I get to look at a card, reveal it. I'll just put the plateau in my hand. I'm gonna tap one. I'm gonna cast Burgeoning. Whenever an opponent plays a land, you may play a land from your hand onto the battlefield.
I go to cleanup and discard a Silver Bluff Bridge and a Herald of Anguish.
Thank you. I'm gonna tap 2, and I'm gonna Darksteel Mutation your Avacyn.
Cool. I will draw a card as it's your second spell.
You're good at counting to 2.
I'm great at counting to 2.
So this goes to 2. Non-creature spells your opponents cost 2 more until the next turn. So I'm gonna tap 2, and I'm gonna cast the Great Henge because this is a 7/7 from the Gauntlet of Power. And tap this for 2 green, gaining 2 life. I needed that life gain, man. I will then use the 2 green and then 1 to play a Cursor of Krupix, which means I get to flip that. I will then play a land from my hand, which will give me 1 life to gain because a land entered the battlefield under my turn, and that creates a clue. Do that. I'll tap 21. Oh, wait a minute. These are double, right?
Only basic lands when they're
Yeah.
tapped for the chosen color.
6, 8. So 9
17,
plus
20,
20,
25,
25, and then I had the 1 extra. So 26.
26.
Awaken the Woods. Create 24 1/1 green forest dryad land creature tokens. There we go.
A land enters the battlefield under your control. You gain 1 life times 24, I hate to say.
19, 20, 21, 22, 23,
This is
24.
insane.
And then I get 24, so I go to 25
Not only
clues.
will he not die, he will just.
I could have killed him had you not blown up my Baneslayer Angel earlier.
Okay. So
Butterfly wings.
now I'm gonna go to attack. I gotta hit Sky with, so I'm gonna hit you with 10 because this is a 4 and that's a 6. I will then hit you with my indestructible. So I'm gonna swing at Sky for 15.
Suppose I'll take it. Going to 20.
And then 5 of that is Commander.
Factoids.
I go to second main. There's nothing I can do. I'm tapped out. Pass the turn and I have to discard.
Untap, upkeep, draw. That doesn't do shit. Play a plains, tap for 4. During my main phase, I will cast Return to Dust, exiling Darksteel Mutation and
the
Great
Henge.
Henge.
You played a land though?
I have.
I can play land.
Oh no.
I'll play Volcanic Island.
I will tap 6 to cast Court of Grace. I will become the Monarch.
Come the monarch!
4, 5.
Oh, land enters battlefield. I get another.
Plus the 2 more to cast Defy Death. And return a creature card from my graveyard to the battlefield. If it's an angel, put 2 1/1 counters on it. Angelic Field Marshal into play. This has Lieutenant, so it gets +2/+2, and creatures I control gain Vigilance. How many flyers you got over there untapped?
None untapped. I swung out.
Go to combat. Swing at you for 10.
I'll take 10.
I will then go to end step, trigger Monarch, and draw a card.
Untap, draw.
I'm trying, guys.
Game of the century.
Here comes a land.
Hey!
When a land enters the battlefield.
Oh, you get a
I
4/4.
get a 4.
Two
I
4/4s.
also
Yeah.
will get to put a land onto the battlefield.
Because of
So
Virgining.
Virgining.
Making
So I will
2
go ahead and
of
shock it in for 2, and I'll just go ahead and tap 2, and I'm going to sack a clue, going to 25 clues, and I'll get a +1 counter on my tireless
that's your
cracker. And I'm supposed to be drawing the blue sun
something
zenith.
big. I'm going to make Tamio die by doing a -3, exiling a target non-land permanent card with mana value X from my graveyard, which is Sequence Engine, and I'm creating a token that's a copy of that card, which means I am creating 2 of those tokens. Can we just use this as a token, or
I have
will you
a
guys
copy.
be mad?
Here.
Can I please exile one of your creature cards with the highest mana value that's available?
But take either because it's
So
a
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna do that. So I'm creating a 7/7.
Exile stuff from his graveyard, too.
I'm gonna. What do we have for 1, 2, 3, 4 mana? Give me something with 4 mana.
The creatures with 4 is my Oracle and Madaya.
Cool, I'll do it. So I create
4?
2 7/7s and 2 4/4s with the
Okay.
sequence engines. I am swinging at you, Skylar, even though I really greatly admire you as a human. Magic is magic. 6/6. coming over to say hello.
I'm
Okay.
taking the 6 from the Trampling Bela.
And that's my turn.
Anything else? All right, I'm gonna untap and freaking kill you all. Draw, land Porthorn. Soul Rang, Curse Mirror, and Island. Cast Joyra. 10, 11, 12.
Did you have 3 artifacts
I
to
did.
gain the life?
I just remembered. Inventor's Fair triggers at the beginning of my upkeep because I have 3 artifacts.
Gain a life.
First and foremost, I will cast Mind Stone, which triggers Joyra on cast, drawing me a card. I'll pay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Spine of Ishsaw. Cast trigger, Joyra, I draw. Does it enter the battlefield? Nobody counters that? I will go ahead and target EDC because we don't want to see that Avenger. Not really. I will go to Combobs. Trigger stack. I guess I do this and this so that resolves first. And Mishra makes a Warform copy of Spine of Ishsaw. I don't know what happens first, it ETBing or this making another one.
ETBs will be resolving before that.
And targets.
Nuke the Persist Flyer so I can have it, so I can swing it at him.
Okay,
I just want the satisfaction of killing you, Lynch.
fine. I do too. So I'll have it target.
Wait, the Containment Priest won't. I can't get it back because no mana will be cast on it.
Even better! This first copy of Spine, destroying it and not allowing it to return because of Containment Priest, right?
Well, it'll return.
It wasn't
and
cast,
then,
exiled
Then
instead.
it gets exiled.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. And then the second Warform copy of Spine will target Linvala, is my second target.
Good. We need this to end.
Will die.
I go to combat, or I've been there, but I go to attacks. The 2 Warforms cannot really touch anybody, can they? I'll attack Lynch, make him deal with him. You're indestructible and you're
You could-
massive.
I'll chump.
Second,
So this goes to your graveyard. This goes to my graveyard.
I will go ahead and tap Oni Cult Anvil to sacrifice an artifact. That's gonna be one of these to deal a damage to each of you, and I gain a life. This sacks itself at end of turn, and I am passing.
Okay, thank God. Untap. Finally get to untap my Sun Titan too. A Sylvan Library trigger. Because of this, I still show each when I Sylvan. Explore, Bloom Tender, and Fellwire Stone. I don't think I have any basics left in this deck, so that would be dumb. I will then go ahead and draw for turn. Trigger that, none of them were whatever, so I'll just go ahead and now put this in my hand. So I'll tap the Thurn Dynamo. So I have 2 mana floating. I'm gonna use 1 of it, keeping 1 floating to look at the top 3. I will go ahead, I'm gonna use the 1.
Anger.
And then I'll tap this. So actually I'll have 1 floating because this gives me 5, yeah? And I'm gonna cast Tatiova Beathic Druid.
Tatiova.
Tatiova. Landfall. Whenever land enters battlefield under control, you gain 1 life and draw a card. So play 1 and this. Crack a clue. Go to 24. Get another counter on my cracker. Draw this card. Reveal this. 1, 2, 3. I will cast Sword of Feast and Famine. A quick creature gets +2/+2 as protection for black and green. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to a player, that player discards a card and you untap all lands you control. I will pay 2.
That
Second
is
spell.
a second spell.
I will
draw
go
a
ahead and
card.
equip Omnath to the Sword of Feast and Famine. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will Zenith Sun for 5x. Which
So
said
blue
target
Sun
player,
Zenith?
blue Sun Zenith, which said target player draws X cards, shuffle blue Zenith back to its owner's hand. So first I draw the cards, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4,
Despair. Ruinous
5.
Ultimatum.
This then shuffles back in. Wow, I have like not much of a deck left.
I hope you mill
Here,
yourself.
can you cut me?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna play an Arid Mesa. Lose a life, gain 2 life, draw a
Why
card.
are you losing?
Because I'm tapping and cracking the Arid Mesa.
Okay.
And I create another clue. We'll just get a mountain. And then I gain another 2 life. This
Oh,
and
Tatiana,
Tatiana,
I
and I'll
forgot
draw a
about that.
card after you cut me. Reveal and then draw. You are a problem. You are such a problem. Oh. Tap the top, get Path to Exile. To white, exile your Avacyn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll tap for 7 and I'll cast Ruinous Ultimatum. Destroy all non-land permanents your opponents control.
Lynch! Stop!
This is what responses to Ruinous Ultimatum. Destroy all 9 land permanents your opponent's control.
Right.
But you get to get a land.
Exile
I
or
have 3
destroy?
float, so I still have
Destroy.
3 floating white. I'm actually gonna send Omnath at you for 7. So I'm gonna send 7 at you, commander damage. I will send 7 here, 8, 9, 10, 13.
Plus 5 is 18.
This one can go at you. So all this is at Sky to kill Sky. 2 at you, and 7
Hold
at
on,
you.
before you. Sun Titan trigger.
Oh, Sun Titan trigger.
It also has vigilance.
So I'll get a land, island into play, which gives me another 1 and draws me 2, gives me 2 life, and I draw a card and I have to reveal. Imprison the Moon. Ooh, nice.
Okay, well, before damage, I'm going to pay 3 for Chaos Warp on the 6/6.
The Sun Titan will shuffle my library, but it won't matter if I get a creature because Containment Priest.
I think, yeah. I think I'm shuffling it back into Eileen's library.
Will you just...
You're taking 11. So I'll tap for 2 white. I'll cast the Soul Ring, tap the Soul Ring for the Arcane Signet, tap it for the Sensei's tap. So I'm sorry guys, I forgot a trigger. You're supposed to, because I did damage, you need to discard, and I get to untap all lands I control. I will then move to discard. I'm gonna do 2 white, sack, create, where's my dude? He goes to 3. I'm gonna do another 2 white to crack this to 24. My dude goes to 4.
My dude.
Another one.
My dude.
Go to 3. So I'm
My
gonna end up
man.
drawing. I'm gonna draw.
My guy.
This goes 5. So I draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. I guess what I will do, just because. So I'll tap for 2. I'll do the Bloom Tender.
I'm gonna need a 50-pound bag of salt by the end of the
All right. I have to reveal. Ooh.
So untap, upkeep, draw. Oh, I wonder what I got. 7.
Staying alive.
I'm gonna cast Angel of Ruin. Angel of Ruin, it's a 5/7 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, exile up to 2 target artifacts or enchantments.
Oh, I drew out the. I drew for having the Monarch, right?
Yes.
So I'll draw the kind of transformation, and then Thrasios is on top, and I will discard Explorer the Undark, Reshape the Earth, and Sky Crowd.
Angel of Ruin, exile, exile.
Targeting Chromatic Orrery and Sword of Feast and Famine.
Okay. So
Goodbye.
Na 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 na.
Hey,
Na na na. Hey hey hey. Good.
I will have a floating white to cast Verge Rangers. First strike, I may look at the top card of my library at any time. As long as an opponent controls more lands than me, I can play lands from the top of my library. Where was that? Where was that like 3 turns ago? Just gonna pass the turn.
Draw 7.
So was
weird,
I.
like,
You
we're
could have
not,
just
like-
died.
Yeah.
Pass turn.
Okay.
Did you time that? That's 5 seconds.
Draw Underground Riverland per turn.
Yep.
I'll tap 1, 2 here for Imposter Mech. It's an artifact vehicle, 3/1 with crew 3, and you may have Imposter Mech enter the battlefield as a copy of a creature an opponent controls, except it's a vehicle artifact
24
with
fucking things where I created that this turn.
what?
Those stuff just been sitting there, yeah.
You could have killed us all.
So I could have it enter as a copy of Angel of the Ruins, but a vehicle. We could take out the Gauntlet of Power and Sylvan Library. These 2. Okay.
She gets her
those
card
are
back.
Exiled.
So you're exiling these. Sylvan Library goes away.
Oh man, I biffed it.
I'm gonna tell my grandchildren about this game.
You're gonna be able to show
if
this to them on
if I
YouTube.
even get to make kids, or if I will just stay here for
If
the
we
rest
ever
of my
get
life.
away from this table.
I guess I can cast 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Broodclad. This is a 4/4 legendary artifact creature, Phyrexian Artificer. Creature tokens you control have haste at the beginning of combat. On your turn, create a 2/1 blue Phyrexian Mirror artifact creature token. Then you may choose a token you control. If you do, each other token you control becomes a copy of that token. I can also cast Farid, this Enterprising Salvager that I read earlier. If I go to combat, I get a 2/1, which is like super exciting. It has haste, but I'm gonna try to leave up blocks because magic. Pass.
Okay. I will float 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'll float 16 mana, giving me 16 unspent black mana. I will now untap it. I no longer have, thanks to Skylar, I no longer have my damn dude, so I just draw the 1 card, but I still reveal
Another Omnath.
Omnath.
Oh, pre-combat main phase, Omnath triggers. I show this, I get 3 colors of any color, so I will go ahead and get blue, green, and a red, and this goes to my hand. I will go ahead and use those colors and one of the black to go ahead and cast Omnath. When it enters the battlefield, it deals damage to any target equal to the number of elementals I control. I have 2 elementals, so I'll go ahead and do 2 damage to you. I am going to then pay 2 mana to Imprison Moon.
Have a land.
Play a land for turn. That'll let me do 1, 2, because I have those 2, and then I draw, and when a land enters the battlefield, I put a +1 counter on Omnath, and I get another clue token. I'll tap 2. I will go ahead and do 3 damage to your creature. Use 6 of this, so that would go to 9. So I'll cast Massacre Worm.
Ooh,
Ooh.
spicy.
Okay.
And there's a creature's opponent's control get -2/-2.
Will kill. And we each lose 2.
You lose 2 life.
I got you, people.
I'm gonna then use 5 of this, going to 4, and I'm gonna invoke Despair, targeting you. So target opponent sacrifices a creature. If they can't, lose 2 and draw a card.
So I don't have an enchantment and I don't have a planeswalker, so I am dead.
Then repeat this process for an enchantment and a planeswalker.
So I can sack a creature, but I can't sack an enchantment and I can't sack a
Whenever
planeswalker.
creature and opponent control dies, that player loses 2 lives.
get
So then you go. You
He's
lose
very
another 2
dead.
life.
I'm dead.
So I'm going to go to attacks. I'm gonna swing at you for just 4 commander damage. I will then swing 10 of these at you, 14 at you, 10 of these at you because they're 1/1s, 14 at you.
Due to deads.
GG, but I still have to kill her. So 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14,
No, I just casted this turn, didn't I? Or last turn. So
14, 14, 15, 16, 16.
so you're at 45. This is revealed. I'm gonna pay 1 to top to look at the top 3. I'll just tap the top, put on the top, and I'll then cast this dude. 1, 2, 3. So I'll tap those 3 to cast that dude. So I have to let you have your turn.
Kill him, Miley!
Untap, upkeep, draw.
Wow.
That's the turn.
Do you have nothing you can cast?
No, I have no creatures. None of this matters.
You don't have
except
to
for-
answer that question.
Okay. Untap,
You're right, I don't.
and then I just draw, and then I can just swing out, right?
Swing.
Do I have enough to kill
Big
you?
swing?
It will swing with 24, 6, 4,
34.
2, 2, 2,
30.
4, 8, which actually it's bigger because I cracked a couple of those.
Cool.
3
You
and
swing
1.
at me for death.
Looks like
For
lethal.
death. It looks like lethal. We can count it up.
Any responses?
But it's
No.
definitely long.
I have
Okay.
0 responses. Jesus Christ.
5-color Omnath completed. Good battle. That was ridiculous. I thought this game was over many, many times, but we kept board wiping many, many times.
There were only 2.
And we didn't have it happen. How was your first time being on I Hate Your Deck?
It was wonderful.
You had a long flight to America and you
Yes.
created a long game.
Did he create? I don't think he created the long game.
I should
He just made honest beaters and then had them killed.
Yep, great. I mean, I watch the show back home with my friends, and it's really amazing being here and meeting all of you in person, and it was lovely. Yeah, Thank you for having me.
Great having you on the show.
Thank you, guys.
I will see you guys again. We'll invite you back. Next time we need to have faster decks so someone wins quicker. I would have preferred to either die sooner or have one of you die sooner.
You could have let me kill you.
We can't let.
Right. Let's go. Get to the editing room. You
All right, goodbye. See you guys every other Friday. Bye.
Cut.
If you want to support I Hate Your Deck, please consider joining our Patreon. It's an excellent community that we have built with people from around the world where we play Magic in our Discord using Spell Table. If you haven't had a chance to play online Magic yet, try out our Discord. It's a great community where people are gaming daily. And every Thursdays we have Commander Day where people play all day and night, but the community's gotten so big, Commander Day is almost every day at I Hate Your Deck. Hey, it's time for the Patreon shoutouts. I'd like to thank Jay Franklin, Dennis Morales, and Jalen Davis. Thanks, guys. If you want a shout out, you need to be a tier 4 or tier 5 patron where we give shout outs. Now, we love all of our patrons, but it's just one of the perks of being a tier 4 or tier 5 patron. Without you patrons, we wouldn't be where we are today, and we wouldn't be able to keep making content. So thank you so much for helping us make this show a reality, and we're really excited to keep bringing you great content for the years to come. I can't wait to be able to bring my son on the channel once he gets old enough, let me tell you.
I hate your deck.
Los Angeles is the sunny home of we, the wizards of the West Coast. And the guests we fuck with on this epic show. I hate your deck! Guitar solo! All right! The competition is toe-to-toe. From Cassius Marsh to fucking Post Malone. The best commanders and the lowest blows. I hate your deck! We're on a roll! Wow! So attack, play your cards and say go. Be you white, blue, black, red, green, or gold. It's a counter spell? What's the deal, bro? I hate your deck! Now enjoy the show.
I hate your deck. Join the I Hate Your Deck Patreon exclusive Discord to get the various benefits and be able to play Commander daily with people from around the world in our global community.